You're watching JaxBlade's month of Halloween. Let's get some shit out of some psychopaths. Groovy.
Fitting for this month of October, the monstrous anti-hero comes to the big screen, though I know a lot of people are upset because he's not finding his spandex counterpart.
I don't feel so good.
Yo, dudes and dudettes, your friendly neighbor JaxBlade is back, and today I just gotta talk about my favorite comic book character of all time because he had a certain movie come out and I got words.
Okay, so I saw Venom on Thursday, and to be honest, I've got a lot of words to say on it. But before we just get into that, let me just go over why I've loved Eddie and the Symbiotes Union character since I was 4 years old. Getting my first Venom action figure, reading the comics every month, and why Venom is just my favorite comic book character ever.
Also, I want to say this first and foremost because I hear so many people say this in movies too, that it just is something that triggers me every single time I hear, okay? Because it's just like, alright, you just don't get it. Venom is a specific union of Eddie Brock and the symbiote, okay? Eddie and symbiote equals Venom. There was not this thing where just the suit is Venom. That is bullshit, alright? No, that is why they refer to themselves as we. They both hated Spider-Man. They were like, oh, we're gonna become poison to Spider-Man because we hate him so much. So their bond caused them to fuse together and become Venom. But somewhere along the line, they start calling just the suit Venom, and that is just bullshit. So like, if you ever hear something say like, I am Venom, or freaking like if you ever hear Venom say I, just referring to himself, that is bullshit. You have failed the character. That's why he always says we.
Then they had this whole storyline of Eddie getting rid of the suit, and it went and got with this kid Angelo Furtado, but didn't like him, so it dropped him off a building. Then it merged with the Scorpion, and then Flash Thompson, and etc, etc. The only Venom for me is Eddie fucking Brock. No one else. Not Matt Gargan, not Angelo Furtado, not Anne Wang, but we'll get to you, baby. Not Patricia Robinson, not Harry Osborn. I'm looking at you, PS4 and Ultimate Drake Bell, like with that BS. Yeah, no. And then Flash Thompson. Honestly, what a lot of people do like him as Agent Venom. I was always a bit indifferent to it because I just wanted Eddie back, but I don't mind him as Agent Anti-Venom. I don't mind that at all, alright? You know, when they fought the Red Goblin, I thought that was pretty dope. But to me, just to get the point across, OG Venom to this day is still Eddie Brock and the OG symbiote teamed up. Nothing else. But speaking of symbiotes, can I just say the symbiote arc itself is honestly one of my favorites from the comic books, Spider-Man the Animated Series from the 90s, and Spectacular Spider-Man, which arguably did one of the best versions of that story ever put to screen. And honestly, if you haven't watched Spectacular Spider-Man, stop this video right now, go marathon it. Greatest Spidey series ever, you won't be disappointed. But seeing Spider-Man get this alien suit which buffed his abilities and gradually changed his happy demeanor to this dark, edgy madman was incredibly entertaining, and knowing there was a character coming that took that malice and exacerbated that evil nature was incredibly enticing to me. And Eddie himself as a character was one of those that I had consistently been just becoming more endeared to as a child. And just he kept growing and growing on to me over the years. I know that sounds weird, but one thing I really loved about Eddie Brock, depending on which version you went with, either the main 616 comic universe Eddie or Spectacular Spider-Man's Eddie, was the fact that this dude was already jacked as fuck from years of lifting for stress relief. As a kid, I thought it was cool that this guy was just lifting heavy to go beat up someone he despised, but as a teen and adult, I found it motivating thinking of my self-training just to show up someone who brought me down and just made me go like, yeah, I want to go show this motherfucker how to do this. And he did it to better help his symbiote strength as well. Matter of fact, can we just talk about Eddie's training? Dude, even without his symbiote, was insanely strong. Through strict bodybuilding and strength training, the man could rep ridiculous weight, throw people around like rag dolls, and while he did work out to ease the stress he was going through originally, after he found the symbiote, he became obsessed with increasing his strength and power to make himself stronger for his other. I mean, look at this! The dude's a regular human and that's some Captain America shit! Eddie was a man on a mission, and even though the original goal before he and Spidey made up was something sinister, the fact that Venom decided to use his powers to help innocents and become a lethal protector to help people and genuinely thought what he was doing was right with his twisted sense of morality drew me to him even more.
I've always just been drawn to anti-heroes who do not fall for that "if I kill you, I'm no better than you" BS.
If you kill me, you'll be no better than me.
I can live with that.
And while I've always loved Spider-Man, and he is my favorite superhero of all time, no doubt, during the Maximum Carnage arc, the whole "I can't kill this man because I see myself as no better than him" became so incredibly frustrating when you kept seeing Carnage just endlessly slaughter these innocent people. Though, I mean, it is pretty obvious the only reason they didn't kill him was because Carnage is a popular character, and that's 95% the reasoning of giving the hero some moral leeway. But it's still nice to just have someone come along and not play that shit and just be like, "And these rules, left and right.
We will eat both your arms and then both of your legs, and then we will eat your face right off your head."
So every time I've seen Eddie and the symbiote done right as Venom, I'm all about it and just hyped to see them in action. My personal favorites gotta go to the OG 616 comics, of course, Spider-Man the Animated Series, the classic PS1 Spider-Man game, my favorite video game of all time, and Spectacular Spider-Man, of course, and honestly, 2018's Venom.
Now, one thing I did think was funny was at the very beginning of the movie, it kept saying, "in association with Marvel." I said that twice, so it's just like, okay, we get what you're going with. And when I originally went into this movie, I thought I wasn't gonna I thought I was gonna get angry, I thought I was gonna hate it, besides all the Venom scenes, because he's my boy. So it was one of those things where I was just like, okay, well, let's get to the Venom scenes, and I'm gonna pretty much just like those and not care about the rest of the movie. And honestly, I know a lot of people are gonna hate it and I will never be able to change their opinion, but hear me out for a second.
Now, as you can guess from this video, I do have a personal bias to loving Venom, but that bias can be shot down if I feel like they just shit on him. AKA Spider-Man 3, where Venom referred to himself as I
want him dead too, Flint. I know all about you.
Look, I want to kill the spider.
Freak? I'm the freak. Have you looked in the mirror lately?
asked for help to destroy Spider-Man, and frankly was just kind of a bitch through the whole film. In 2018's Venom, as someone who's read the comics, the character's personality as Venom is on point. I've heard some people complain that Venom himself was too goofy, but that's how he acts in the comics. And hell, if you've ever played the PS1 Spider-Man game, you've seen him act this way in like very similar ways to this 2018 movie, like legit.
Outstanding. Now, let's bite all the heads off and pile them up in the corner. Spider-Wars! Come out and play! Rolling down the street like a turd in the wind. You're in the doghouse now, dude. Eyes, lungs, pancreas, so many snacks, so little time. Rest easy, Brock. Venom is here. We are Venom.
Here it is, the records room.
Surf the web, surf the web.
Shut up, Brock.
The relationship between the symbiote and Brock seemed nice and was just fucking hilarious. There was this one joke that broke me when Eddie has to jump out a window, and if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And every time they communicated with each other, I could see it as Eddie and the symbiote truly bonding.
Now, I'll keep it real with y'all. I did not care for the voice Tom Hardy was doing for Eddie Brock. Just like, yo, okay, I'm doing meditation. You know, I didn't like it. It sounded too like nasally and weaselly for me as Eddie character. But his Venom voice that he did, that was on point. Like that just, I've said it like I think several times in this video, just how much that reminded me of the PS1 Spider-Man game. Just if you played that game, like that's all I was thinking of, was seeing that Venom in live action on screen.
Though it's a damn shame because this live action Venom design-wise and voice-wise would honestly work so damn well in the MCU. And yes, I agree with everyone 10,000% that Sony should have just given Marvel everything so they could have done it right, but what are you gonna do? You can't change the past, you know, unless something happened like this.
Eddie, I have to tell you, I had a former host that betrayed me. I went to kill the man who brought me to the Life Foundation and let us get experimented on and experience so much agony.
Well, yeah, who you talking about?
This symbol we shall wear when we destroy him.
Oh, okay, let's go then. Yeah, let's go.
There you go, Disney. Easy way to write them in. And thank you, Hotel Phone, for that. But, you know, I'm not gonna try and be like, you know, sucking this thing off. Like, I did have some issues with this movie.
The villain was lame, Riot was meh, the movie all of a sudden starts rushing itself through all these plot points near the end. Venom doesn't show up until an hour in, and when he does show up, they do the BS of calling just a symbiote suit Venom. And honestly, I can't recommend this movie to folks who are so passionate and so easily angered by something because they really want it to be with the MCU, so they're just gonna be gritting their teeth through the whole thing saying it's wasted, because you're just gonna have a bad time. But if we're just going by the type of person who doesn't mind corniness and just honestly just goes into the film like it's a Elseworld story, then I don't see the hassle. You don't have to rush into theaters to see this movie. If you wanted to just catch it on Netflix in your home or rent it at home. And as I'm a fan of Spill, well, now Double Toasted, I'd give this movie in between a high rental and low matinee because it made me laugh hard, and it honestly didn't make me angry at all because I took it as an Elseworld movie and just like, oh, this is just another universe, whatever, like nothing big to me.
But now that I said all of that, I'm just gonna bring up some spoiler talks, because like, if you want to see the movie, go see it. If you don't want to see it, all right, that's on you. But this is just something I have to talk about, and they'd be spoilers, so I'm just giving fair warning right ahead. One, seeing Venom in live action, I mean, I kind of expect them to do it because I knew Anne Wang was in the movie, and see, I brought it all back to her. But yeah, I wasn't expecting like it was gonna be that fast. And then, you know, Venom, I ain't gonna lie, that was bad. It gave me some weird Tumblr searches that night, that's all I'll say. Two, I love that they acknowledged that Venom was a loser on his planet, because it was one of those things, like, if you read the comic books, there's this thing where they talk about how most symbiotes would, they would bond with someone, they would use up all the nutrients in their body, and then they would just move on to someone else. So they basically just like go in them like a parasite, suck all their nutrients out and leave. And then Eddie Brock's symbiote, the Venom we know, like that was the symbiote, was like, I want to bond and stay bonded with people and be like a partner to them, instead of just being a thing where I used up my host and get rid of it. I want to stay bonded. So that was a nice little touch they put in of like, oh, I'm a loser too, so we're losers together. So I did like that. I did like that fact. Three, Woody and that fucking wig. Oh my god. I don't know why they did it. Like, first off, Woody, like, I have so many issues with that. First, that guy from Gotham, MCU, if you take that idea from before, the guy from Gotham would be a perfect Cletus Cassidy, the one who plays the Joker on that, or whatever, the so-and-so Joker, Jerome or something. He's a perfect Cletus Cassidy, so make sure to snatch him up. But Woody Harrelson, first off, you think you're gonna get a sequel. That's funny enough. But then they had this whole thing where he's wearing this, like, horrible wig. It's just like, you couldn't find a better wig than that. I get that Cletus Cassidy has this hair, and I do love Carnage, but that's not the way you go about it. And the way he does this thing is just like, when I get out of here, there's gonna be Carnage. And it's just like, okay, kid. All right, that's cute. That was funny. That whole scene made me laugh. It didn't even make me angry. I was just like, okay, yeah, like, you're gonna get a sequel. That's funny. So all in all, I did love Venom the character, seeing him in live action. I did enjoy the movie somewhat. I was laughing most of the way through it. I didn't get angry like I did with BVS. I didn't get like upset like I did with Suicide Squad or anything, or I didn't get like feel cheated like Green Lantern or anything like that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go at DC like that. I just thought of superhero movies that just made me upset when I first saw them. Or Hulk, there we go, Hulk 2003. I didn't get that kind of feel where I was like, I'm so disappointed. It was just a movie I went into as an Elseworld story that I was like, okay, I could see how this could work in this realm. It made me laugh. That's a big thing to me. Like, if you can entertain me to a point where I'm generally laughing hard or just like not bored. Like, I have this thing where if I go to the movies and I like bring my knees up into the seat, that means I'm not enjoying the movie. I'm just like, let me get the hell out of here. So I didn't have that effect. And yeah, I enjoyed it, besides the whole I'm Venom, because it makes no sense. Like, how'd you get the name Venom? Why are you called Venom? Why is he called Riot? Why is like, they had these names, but it was just like, there's no point of having the name because you're not, you know, like, you're not, there's no one you're gonna be like, oh, I'm Venom because of this. Like, if they said that, oh, see, MCU, use that. But I hope you enjoyed this month of Halloween. But I hope you enjoyed this 1 month Halloween video. I have to address this because some people say it. So like, if anyone ever sees a comment like, why aren't you uploading like daily like you did the last 2 years? Because this year I want to do something different on my month of Halloween, because usually I would just upload every single day and the video would be like a minute or two. And I wanted to do something where I did more quality videos. Like last year, I did a Jason Voorhees training video, and who would win, Jason, Michael, and Freddy. Jason, Michael versus Leatherface. Sorry, Leatherface. And both those videos did really good and got a good reception. So I'm gonna start doing that for this year's month of Halloween. So don't worry, I definitely got a Michael Myers video coming, and certain slasher videos coming, and horror videos coming too, because I always gotta do that, because horror is my passion along with this guy and all the other stuff, so don't worry about that. And remember, like I always say, keep calm, booyah on. Don't forget, Momentai, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. I'm going to be uploading all the rest of this month quality content, and tell me what you thought of Venom in the thing below. If you just saw it, like, tell me if you loved it, tell me if you hated it, tell me what you think. I'm genuinely curious to hear what the discussion is on it. But yep, I'm gonna go get some other work done on these Halloween videos, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, peace, deuces. Blah.
Let us take you, expand your mind. We are Venom, together now, paths align. The world is mine, and it can be yours in time. And we're climbing to the top when our worlds combine. We are